Hey everybody, welcome back to Computer Science. So today we're going to continue on with the 4.3. I'll be honest, I just recorded all this and then I clicked the wrong button, so it's all broken in garbage. So how's your day going? But we're here. If you look, I changed our little character to Wanda. I was looking for a teacher, but there's not a teacher in the little the costumes that they have set up. So Wanda was the closest thing. She's saying hi to everybody. So yesterday we went through, and if you remember, we went through our cast of friends, and if I click this here, better work, it says welcome to everybody on our list. Yay, everybody's welcome. We love having everybody here. So what we want to do now is make it so it welcomes everybody all at once. So that was where I left you off yesterday and was kind of letting you just go with your flow. So if I look here, what I'm going to do is something that might seem a little bit counterintuitive, but I'm going to set up another script variable. And if you notice, for some reason, my snap is not letting me add any new variables that aren't script variables. I'm not sure why, but we can just deal with names and deal with script variables. That's fine for right now. So I want to add a new script variable. That's this gray box here. Script variable just means it's only going to apply to this script and no other scripts. It's a way to save information if I just want it to be in one part of the program. It doesn't have to be in all the other parts of the program. Excuse me. The dad noises are on high alert today. All right. So this script variable, I'm just going to call it message. So this will be our welcome message when we are all done. So I've set my index to 1. I know that, and I want to set my message to something now. Let's go ahead and duplicate that. Let's set, not index, our message. If I click the little arrow, I can click on message. We're going to set our message to welcome. And then we're going to hit space. So I've got welcome, space, and then I want to add to this message. Now, if you notice with our list of names up here, we're going to be changing this quite a few times. So how many times am I going to change this? I want to do a repeat for however many times it is. Now, what if I want to make my list longer or shorter? I need to do it for the whole list, right? So I'm going to do a repeat. And there's 2 ways you can do this. I'm going to do it, this one, you could do repeat until index equals length of list. That would be fine. But what I'm going to do is just repeat it for, Oh, I think that's actually what I want to do. I'm just going to repeat it for length of list. So if I go to my variables here, there's length of list. Looks like this. So you could do it repeat until index equals length of list, but we're just going to repeat it for the length of list. So for the length of our list, and what was our list again? It was names. So all of our friends up here. So we're going to repeat this for the length of names. And this time I want to add everybody, but if I'm on the last one, I want it to be and then their name. I don't want a comma after it. I want to make it a little bit different. So we're going to do an if else here. We're going to do an if else. So if we go into our control, we should be able to find an if else. All right, I'm going to deal with the else first. So the else is just every name that isn't the last name. So for every name that isn't the last name, we're going to do a few things. One, we are going to change our message. So in this case, I want to set my message to something new. So if it is not the last one, I'm going to go back up to that in a little bit. I want to change my message to something here. I want to keep everything that's already on my message because I don't want that to be lost. So what I'm going to do is do an operator and a join here. We're going to join. So first thing I'm going to join is my message. So I'm just going to use my message already. So I'm making my message, whatever it was already, plus something else. Now I already have the space up here after welcome, so I don't need to add a space before my name. But what I want to add in next is whatever item index of my list of names. So I'm going to go to variables. And again, if I'm going too fast, feel free to rewind this, pause it, whatever you need to do. I just kind of want to keep these videos a little bit shorter, and I know that me talking about it is just me adding to the length of the video. Sorry about that. So what I want to do is add my message and then item index of names. Boop. Item index? Yeah. Item index of whoop, my list, which was names. Cool. Let's make Granny a little smaller over there so that we can see the whole thing. All right. So we're going to add item index of names, and then after item index of names goes in, I need to put a comma in. So I'm going to put a comma in. I did hit the comma button, not the period, right? Comma, and then a space, a little space at the end, so that we know that our next one, we won't have to put a space before. Okay, then after I've done that, I need to change my index because I want to go to the next item in the list. So I'm going to change index by 1. Change index by 1. Cool. We're going to change index by 1, moving down to the next one. All right, this should work for everything except for the last one. So for our last one, we're going to have our if. So if index equals length of list is probably what we're going to use here. So let's see. So I need an operator. That's where I am. Whoop. So if equals, and the thing is going to be our index, which I have up here. If index equals length of list, which was names, that's where we're going to change things a little bit differently. So I'm going to copy this set message, duplicate, pop it in there. So this time I don't want to do it exactly the same. What I want is my message, and then I want to add the word and. And then after that, we'll do our item. Oh, I put a space in there. Item index of names. And then let's finish it off with a nice exclamation mark to say, hey, everybody's here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so I'm going to run through my script real quick and make sure everything looks good. So I've got an index, which is set to 1, a message, which is set to welcome space. We're going to repeat for the length of names. We are going to have our if item index equals length of names. We add and finish it. If it doesn't, then we set message to message item index of name, and then comma, space. All right, so this looks pretty good. The last thing I want to do is go into looks and say, after all this is done, we are going to say our message. Let's do it for a little bit longer than 2 seconds. Let's go with 4. Okay, so hopefully this all works and is good. If not, I'll have to re-hit the drawing board. So let's go ahead and hit that space bar and see what happens. Let's get that dramatic reveal here. Here we go. Boom. Welcome, Chandler, Rachel, Monica, Phoebe, Ross, Joey, and Gunther. Yay! It works. I'm so happy. Yay. All right. That was how we got it to say everybody's name. So let's look back at what we still need to do as far as Lab 4.3 goes. Here, we've created our list. We've made it so it says everybody at once. Next, we are going to, let's go ahead. I will let you do this bonus if you want to. You don't have to. But I'm going to move on to my looking for. So we're going to write a script that says every other name in a list, one at a time, when the spacebar is pressed. So we're going to use those same lists from before, and we're just going to say every other name in the list. Let's see, this shouldn't be too hard. So really, this is very similar to what we've done up in our other one. I'm going to let you do this one by yourself. I'll work out one of the harder ones. This should be pretty easy to do. So in this one, instead of changing index by 1, we're going to change index by 2. That way it'll work. So we don't have to have the welcome. We're just going to say each name. So every other name in the list, we're just going to change our index by 2 instead of 1, and then say item index of names. Easy. You can duplicate that straight up. Okay, so let's move on to one that's a little harder. Write a script that says the names in the list one at a time in reverse order. When the 0 key is pressed. So in this case, instead of starting your index at, let's see if I can go back to it. Instead of starting your index at 1, you would start your index at length of list. And then instead of changing your index by 1, you would change your index by a -1. It would just work backward. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Not even going to worry about that one there. Okay, so back to this. Let's go with this one. This is where it's going to actually be a little hard. So you're going to write a script that when each of the following keys are pressed, the corresponding subsets of names are said. So when you hit 1, every name that has more than 4 letters is going to be said. Now, I could work through that, but I think my list they all have more than 4 letters, right? Oh wait, Ross has 4, so we would just leave out Ross. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and do that. So we'll go ahead and work through that one. We are looking for a script that when we hit 1, all of the names that have more than 4 letters are said. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to let it warm up a little bit. So we got a control here. When, instead of space key this time, it's going to be the 1 key is pressed. Whoop. And did it say does it just say all of them? Or is it, write a script so that each of the following keys are pressed. The corresponding subsets of names for the list is said one at a time. So we just do it one at a time. All right. So we don't have to change the message up. We just do it one at a time. Okay. So when item 1 key is pressed, we are going to figure out a few things here. We're going to need an index. Once everything's going back, we're going to duplicate that. Boop. So we're going to have our index. We are going to set index to 1 because we're going to start at the very beginning. So we'll start our index at the first position. And then we are going to do an if. So if, going down to our if. Boom. So if item index of our list, boop, there it is, item index of names is longer than 4, so greater than 4. Oh, you know what? It's length of item index. Whew, I almost got that confused. Let's see. Oh man, I'm trying to figure out all this stuff. All but first, item index, list, number, inherit. Oh, I don't remember. All right, hang on. Let's check the one I did a long time ago. Okay, this is one that I did a long time ago. This is a little bit more complicated. Let's see. That was for my space key. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-bow. Bow. Let's see. I need the 1. Where's the 1? Space, space. Let's see. What's this? That's everything that ends in Y. Length of item index. Here we go. So if length of item index of name is greater than 4, so I need the length of item index of name. All right, going back to this one. So I'm looking for length of. once everything loads back up. How's everybody else's computers working? Pretty good? Good. Mine's running a little slow. Just saying. I might have to call it. Oh, there we go. Length of. Whoa. Length of. There we go. It is in operators. So if length of item index of names is greater than 4. So if length of item index of names is greater than 4, then we are going to say, item index of names. Oh man, I just wanted to copy that. Duplicate. Say item index of names for 2 seconds. And we are going to repeat this for the entire length of the list. So all I need to do is grab a repeat under my control. And we are going to repeat it for the length of our list, which is names. Repeated for the length of up to the top names. Drag everything into here. And it should say everybody's name who is longer than 4. So it should say everybody on our list except for Ross and Joey. So it should go Chandler, Rachel, Monica, Phoebe, Gunther. Hopefully that'll work. Let's have a look. Chandler, 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 Chandler. What did I do? I didn't change the index. All right. So we're going to grab a change index by 1, duplicate, and put it outside of the if, because we want this to happen even if it's not that long. All right, now let's try it. Chandler, Rachel, Monica, Phoebe, and Gunther. Yay! It worked. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, I want you to go through those other ones, see if you can figure out the scripts that'll work for those. I know it's a little bit of a trial and error, but go ahead and try it. If you have any questions, let me know. You can post your link even if you're not handing it in, and I will take a look at it and see if I can help, okay? So just be sure to ask me, say, hey, Mr. Christensen, I put my link in. Would you look at it and see if you can help? So all that said and done, I'm sure this has been a long video for you. It's been long for me. We will talk to you later on. I think this is Friday. So it's hard to keep track of the days, I'll tell you what. So we will talk to you again on Monday. Continue working on this. Keep your chin up. Keep working. You got this. You can do it. I believe in you. All right. Bye-bye.